Welcome to Great Gadgets and Gear. Okay, you see a couple of coolers in front of you. This is just going to be my first impressions on this because it's the middle of winter where I am, so can't really do a fair, accurate test. I'm going to be doing some cooler reviews, some different ones, and I will follow up in the warmer months and let you know how they do. But this is obviously the Igloo. This is a Marine Ultra. It's a 52 quart. The dimensions are 18.3 by 19.7 by 20.5 inches, and it weighs about 11 pounds. And the actual technical name is Marine Ultra Quantum 52 Roller. Now, the reason you see two of them in front of you is because I got them from Amazon. So, the first one I got is this one here on the right, and if you can see down here, it's kind of hard to see. Whoa. It's not showing up real good on camera because it's white, but it's damaged. It looks like somebody whacked it with the fork truck arm there. It's indented. It's got some dings and dents on it, and I'm just showing you what I've noticed. It's not nitpicky. It's not that I don't recommend these or anything like this. I'm just showing you what I spotted when I seen it because I'm interested in the variations on some of these coolers with the quality of their construction. These are made in the USA, which kind of draw me to them in the first place, supporting our country. The sticker is put on incorrectly. It's shifted way over. I mean, not a big thing. I'm just pointing this stuff out. And then it's pretty good as far as how it was put together. It's pretty good with the lines and everything. The corners are flush. This one, I'm not sure if this was somebody's return, but it's a little bit dirty in spots, and the wheels were kind of dirty. It's interesting how these come, though, from Igloo. They actually just come in the cardboard shipping box. That's it. They don't even put a plastic bag around it or nothing. They just throw it in the box the way it is. Neither one of the boxes were damaged, so I found that kind of interesting. So any of these scratches, gouges, damages, I'm assuming must come straight from the factory, because they're the ones who put it right in the box. Amazon doesn't display this stuff, so they're not taken out of the box. It's got do a basic kind of thing, but it's got they say it's a 3-point drain plug. I don't know, it's 3 points. I only see one ridge on there, but it clicks into place really well, so that's nice. The handle itself on these things, it's like a luggage type handle, and in my opinion they're really crappy. Not to say that they won't work or that they won't support it, but with the rest of the quality of this cooler, to me it seems kind of cheap, chintzy, like it'll flex underweight. I guess we'll find out in the summertime. But for the most part, it's a neat cooler. For as light as it is, one of the best features on this cooler is actually their lid. The thing I don't really care for with Igloo, even though I end up buying them all the time, they don't have any type of gasket as a seal, but this thing, you can hear it. It seals up really tight. Out of the three coolers I'm going to review, this thing has the best sealing friction lid. This is the Marine cooler, so it comes with a bunch of really cool features, which are they have these accessory ports attached on the front here. You have a couple of sections here where you can either lock it, zip tie it, or use it for bungee cords to tie stuff to it. So I thought that was kind of neat. It has a nice little design on the front. Underneath, it's kind of raised up a little bit to keep it off of the ground as much as you possibly can to help with not zapping, you know, adding all that extra heat when it's sitting on the ground. And then on the inside, now this was the first one I bought, so I had the damage, and then it comes with accessories, and one of the accessories was missing. So the first accessory you get is these fishing pole holders, and they're a little tight to put on, but they do go on with, you know, some effort. And they're very secure when they're on. So you got a couple of fishing pole holders. And then it's supposed to come with cup holders, but this one didn't come with it. So that was another reason why I contacted Amazon, because it was missing the parts that you paid for. So then on the inside, you can see, I'm curious if you can get any kind of basket for this, because it does have a rail here, which some of them don't. So I'm wondering if I can maybe retrofit a different metal basket in there. It's pretty nice size. It's pretty deep. It's very tall cooler for 52 quarts instead of wide. They use these raised up sections. They advertise them as condiment holders. To me, they're just raised platforms because of the wheels, and then your drainage plug. And you can see how high it is, and there's like a little lip section here. So you'll have to tilt it back a little bit to drain it all the way. The lid itself is really, really nice. There's a lot of insulation in it. It's not how, it's very well insulated. You can sit on this. I wouldn't recommend standing on it. I didn't try it because of the wheels, and who can afford hospital bills right now. The cool thing too with cup holders is they have these drainage ports, and they're light, nice and low enough to actually drain off. And they're to the side instead of leaking in the front. The only thing with these cup holders, these are better than some of them I've seen, but they make them so shallow. I mean, they should make them a little bit deep, because you hit your can, it's going to go flying off. But just an observation, not really a complaint. And then you have molded handles on here, so you don't have to worry about them snapping off or anything. And then the wheels, they're rather small wheels. I don't have my tape measure, sorry. Let me grab my tape measure. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so the wheels are approximately 4.5 inches tall. So you're gonna have to keep that in mind. You're not gonna be dragging this thing through the sand. You're gonna have to carry it through the sand, because it's gonna be like dragging a brick behind you, especially if it's really full. But you know, a lot of parks and places have boat ramps and stuff, and concrete or grass, and it does just fine with that. Gravel might be another issue. Now, one of the cool things though about this handle is it's replaceable, because it's screwed in. And I checked them, nothing was stripped out, everything was really nice. And then here's your button here. The only problem too is when you're moving around with this thing, if you hit the button, then it's going to collapse. You just got to be careful not to hit that when you're pulling it. But this is something I think that Igloo should really beef up, is this handle here. It's very wobbly when it's extended, and I get why they did it. You know, it's got to be in 3 sections to keep it tucked in nice and neat under the cooler there. So that was good thinking. But I would beef up these bars though somehow, some way. Sorry about that. My offer up site is going crazy this morning. So anyways, that's really my only complaint so far on this thing, is the handle. I don't really care for the handle at all. The hinge section, well, let's show you. A lot of people don't show you underneath. Here's your underneath section here. So it's just a straight bar, and then your washers, and then they use a it's a pressed in system where they pound this in and press it. So I don't know, as far as replacing it, how painstaking it would be, because I did see another guy, smart guy, who replaced this rod. He extended the rod, but he left these wheels on and put bigger 10-inch rubber wheels on the sides, and they kind of worked in unison together with the spinning and stuff. It worked out really well. I don't know exactly how he did it. I got to check it out. But man, that thing will roll through anything. So awesome idea. And I understand why the Igloo companies, a lot of them do that. They want to keep the wheels nice and neat and tucked in and everything. But because of not wanting to eat up so much real estate on the inside, they can only do wheels so big unless you put them out farther than you're not limited on your wheel size. This cooler runs around $80, so there's another quantum version of this you could pick up for $50, $55 without the cup holders, without the fishing pole holders, and it looks just like this, and they come in colors. The Marines are always white. There is like a half a day difference on ice melt using the lighter colors. And everybody's experiences vary based on how often they use it, where they store it, that kind of thing. If it's sitting in your car or sitting in the hot sun, you're going to have different results. But I really like this cooler. I'm very impressed with the cooler, with how secure that lid latches and the fact that you can sit on it. It's a pretty thickly insulated lid, which is just amazing. I really like it. A lot of people use these too for air travel. Like some hunters use it and fill this up with frozen meat, and it's held up and worked great for them. You can put a nice Coghlan's, I think, has a light, a motion light, where you can open and close and a light in there. Lots of options. Other than this indentation here where you lose a little bit of insulation, the sides are pretty thick, both front and back. Not too bad. Tests I've seen, they've held really good ice retention. They've done the 4 days. I think these are advertised for 4 days. Let's see. 120 hours. 5 days and 90 degrees. Okay, so I was wrong. 5 days. Again, so, tests are going to vary on how you use it, how often you're into it, and where you store it. 85 cans. I don't know nobody who goes camping and just brings cans, but I guess it's a good way for them to measure the size of this. So, a cool thing, too, with the Igloo company, you can go to their site and you can get replacement parts. You can... I have some other coolers. Sorry, I'm doing this freehand. I didn't have any notes this morning. I kind of have a lot going on. But I wanted to get this video out for you guys. You can go to their site. A lot of their stuff is interchangeable with other coolers. You just got to kind of look at measurements and stuff. So I don't know if Igloo knows that or not, because they only have them, it's just for this cooler, but actually it'll work on some other ones, which I'll show you in future videos. But this is really cool. So this was the first one, and since it didn't come with the stuff, I ordered a second one. So the reason I'm showing you both of these is because I don't know if these are quality control issues. I don't know if this is standard for coolers. I haven't purchased a cooler in probably 30 years. All my coolers still have held up quite well. So I haven't felt the need to replace them until now, because there's been leaps and bounds in technology and stuff. So I contacted Amazon about it, so they shipped me out a replacement cooler. Now this one too did arrive with some minor damage. There's a couple indentations. Both the coolers have finite scratches all the way down here. This is just minor stuff. Coolers are going to get banged up. On this one, the only thing I kind of didn't like was the corners stick out. They weren't glued down very properly, very tight. So I'm wondering about air getting in there. You can see glue and insulation kind of squeezing out at the top here. Sorry, it was wheeling away on me. So you can see it better there, the yellow glue and insulation, and then nothing here around the corner. So trying to pick between these two coolers, I don't know a lot about them. So it's like, what's the lesser of two evils? Is it better to have a better seal, a better fit, or should I be more concerned with big smashed damage to the insulation? Not really sure. I'm still deciding here. But this one, a little more care was taken. Their little logo was put in properly, centered nicely. These attachments here, they're not perfect. They're all just kind of put on there. I'm sure it's done in a fast production. This one does seem to seat better and seal up a little tighter, even though they both close up really tight. I mean, you can hear that snap. That's a nice tight fit. And how that works is, on these models, they use a little bump out here where it's a little thicker here. You can see that, these little bump out pegs. And then they hook on these, they hook on these little lips here that are sticking out. And that's the whole deal that holds it down and gives it that nice tight fit. So on this one, it does have a recess where they fill it in. You can see all the pinholes where they squirt in the stuff. So what I was thinking is I could probably get like a real low, maybe 3/8 wide by 1/8 thick weather stripping and put it in here just to try to help seal it up just a little bit better. But man, this thing is just such a tight fit. I don't think it's really going to be an issue on this model. Now the hinges on this one, let's check that out. You can see here, it's got a good hinge system here. It's very tight. Let's see if I can get in a little closer. It's very tight fitting, but I'm pretty sure this is just where the little piece of plastic comes out about so far. I don't believe that is a all the way through metal pin, just because of the weight, and you can kind of see from the back, you can kind of see the plastic in there. So there is little plastic nubs, but they do come out farther than most other coolers, so it seems very sturdy so far. Again, you can sit on these things. It's quite impressive for how lightweight this is. You know, there's no difference in the bottoms or anything. So, but I think I'm going to keep this one. Even though this is off a little bit and not, you know, filled in here, because I can squirt some silicone in here to try to seal that up a little bit better. But the top on this one is a little bit tighter than the other one. It fits a little better, and when it's closed, it's got way less of a gap than the other one does. So I think I'm going to keep this one. So now this one did come with the cup holders. So, and this is really cool. I like this. It's nice that they put the cup holder features on the top, but it kind of takes away from the insulating value because they have to recess them in. So these are cool. They're collapsible ones. They're netting, so if they drip out all the moisture. These are a little bit harder to get in because they're a little bit more widespread here than they are on the pole holders. So this one takes real careful trying to get them in there because they're so far apart. But there you go. So much deeper, much nicer. I don't have it pressed in all the way. They're really, really sturdy though. So you could do one cup holder and one pole if you're, depending on how you fish, or you can do your 2 cup holders or your 2 poles, whatever works for you. But it's a nice feature. These again are interchangeable with some of Igloo's other products. Hopefully I'm not giving away something that they'll change, because that is a really nice feature that some of their accessories can go with some of their newer coolers. So this is just, like I said, my first impressions. Again, for a 52 quart cooler for $80, it's got a lot of features. It's got a lot of pros to it. Again, the only major caveat I have is that handle. But since it's a luggage style, you might be able to swap it out if you have an old piece of luggage that maybe has a better a better handle, you know. Or you guys are all creative. Maybe you'll find another way to beef it up. If you do, let me know. I'd appreciate that. Alright, so this is, like I said, just a real quick first impression thing. Kind of a quality control thing. Something maybe Igloo should be aware of. I know it's a factory and they got to spit them out, pretty quick. You know, but since the boxes weren't smashed, it's not an Amazon problem, which isn't a relief because lately they've been really poor with shipping out used items, broken items. Okay, so I have a couple more cooler reviews coming up. Those should be really cool. Again, they're just going to be first impressions right now, so you guys can see them. I won't be able to test them until the temperature gets nice and warm, but maybe we'll test them out during some outings, so you get like a 2-4 kind of video. All right, great. Thanks. I hope everybody's doing well. Thanks for staying tuned. Keep the feedback coming. Keep it positive. I mean, constructive criticism is cool, but remember, we can't please everybody all the time with our videos. We do the best we can. And we hope that you enjoy what we bring to you on YouTube. So thank you and take care.